everyone. So today I'm going to be doing a quick video. My video keeps getting interrupted, so I've started and had to stop. But I'm going to be doing a video on a nice summer smoky eye, but instead of using your typical dark browns and grays, I'm actually going to be using more like orangey coral tones. So I'm going to be doing using a couple different I'm going to be using a couple different palettes today. So I've started with my eyeshadow primer from Urban Decay, which is my ultimate favorite. In my crease right now, I've used the Huda Beauty Desert palette, and I've gone in with the Saffron and Blazing just in my crease, and I've just kind of blended that out a little bit. Now I'm gonna use just Blazing just to make it a little bit brighter. With my fluffy brush, I'm gonna go in just on my lid, on the outside, The next color I'm going to be using is from the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. This really pretty color called Still Shot. It is a coral tone, but it's nice and bright. So I'm just using this double-ended brush. It is from Arbonne. It's great because it has a fluffy side and it has a flat side. Oh my goodness, he's so noisy. Here, you're making a mess. All right, so I'm just gonna use my flat eyeshadow brush side to put this on my whole lid. And this is just going to brighten up my eye a little bit. And it's nice because coral is a little bit brighter than your basic orange, so it's just gonna really brighten up my look here. And the nice thing about doing a look like this is that in the summertime we tend to get a little bit of sun. Some of us do, some of us don't. But we tend to wear less foundation, we wear more bronzer, and we wear sundresses and jean dresses and cute outfits. So doing a look like this just kind of, you know, adds a little bit of color to your look. Stop putting your bottle upside down. It adds a little bit of color to your look. And you can go as bright or as neutral as you want. I'm going a little bit brighter today. Just because I like a brighter eye when I'm doing a look like this. But if you want to tone it down, you could completely tone this down just by using more neutral tones as opposed to kind of those brighter orangey tones. And I am going to blend all of this in. So if you are looking at me thinking I look kind of like a clown, don't worry, it's not gonna finish like this. And once I have my foundation on and stuff, it'll be a lot more blended too. So now that I've used that really pretty coral tone, you can see how it makes my eyes really pop. The great thing about doing this kind of a look too is that you can really do it with any eye color. With a blue eye, I find that it really does make your eyes pop a lot more, but even with brown eyes or hazel eyes, it really helps to kind of bring the richness out of your eyes. So don't be afraid to do a look like this, even if you have a darker eye too. So I'm gonna be using the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette, which is a really beautiful kind of burnt orange palette. This is one of those palettes where I challenge you to not be afraid of a palette like this because you can get really, really pretty looks out of using these type of tones that are going to be similar to like your typical smoky eye with like your grays and your browns and whatnot, but you're gonna use kind of like softer, deeper tones, which can be really, really pretty as well. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of shimmer and sparkle to the center of my eye by going in with this really pretty color called Lumber. I'll show you. Can you see? It has like this two-tone effect to it, which is really pretty. So I'm just gonna use it with my finger. I find sometimes when you have two-tone colors or shimmery colors, they go on a little bit nicer when you're just pressing them into your lid with your finger. So I'm going to do that, and you will be able to see the effect that it has. You see how pretty that is? And don't be afraid to get your fingers dirty when you're doing your makeup. I know that lots of times makeup artists are like, oh, don't use your fingers. But so long as your fingers are clean, if you're doing your own makeup, I say go for it. If you're doing somebody else's makeup, make sure you're washing or sanitizing your hands in front of your client, and always ask them if they're okay with you touching their face, of course. So you see how that just really added a pretty shimmer to the look. All right, now, I wanna add, okay, if you wanna kind of amp up this look, you could totally add a heavy metal glitter. This is a glitter liner by Decay. It is the color Midnight Cowboy. It is one of the top selling heavy metal colors, and if you're really into glitter, Decay just came out with some fantastic heavy metal glitter gel products that I have not had the privilege of trying, but I've seen a couple girls using them and they are fantastic. So if you're into glitter, go get yourself some of those. I don't want to go crazy with the glitter because this is kind of like a day look. I don't want it to be too over the top. So I'm just gonna add like a tiny bit on the inner corner of my eye. Oh my goodness. All right. So now I'm just going to put a little bit of whatever is just kind of sitting on my brush under my eye, but I'm going to do my foundation. So I have been doing my foundation with this Arbonne kabuki brush, and I'm really liking the way that my makeup is sitting. So I'm doing a combination of products. So I'm using the Arbonne Intelligent CC Cream, which is a really, really nice like tinted moisturizer. It gives a little bit more coverage than a basic tinted moisturizer. But I'm using that, and then I'm using my Inglot foundation. I like the way that these two products sit together because I'm using the light CC cream, which is a lighter tone, and then the foundation is a little bit darker. So I'm getting like this really pretty mix of tones in my skin. And using the kabuki brush as opposed to the beauty blender, I find I get a little bit more coverage, and it just sits really, really nicely on my skin. I never used to put my foundation on with a brush. I always either use my fingers or my beauty blender, but I just started, and I'm really liking the way that my makeup goes on with it. So to that I say, experiment, don't get stuck in your ways. Try new things, because you never know what the outcome might be. Don't forget to blend in your neck. Then I'm gonna use a little bit of my Urban Decay Naked Concealer. This is a really great concealer. If you're the type of person who only uses concealer, you don't use any foundations, you just like to conceal, you know, here, there, wherever you find that you need it. The Naked Skin from Urban Decay, the concealer is amazing. It's buildable, it's soft, it gives you coverage without being thick or heavy. That's the one thing that I find happens with people who just use concealer. There's nothing wrong with using just concealer, but what happens is some concealers tend to be really, really thick. And then what happens is you put on the concealer and nothing else, and then you can see where the concealer's been applied because you can see the difference in tones, or you can see how much thicker it is than just your regular skin. Because if you're not doing any foundation or powder or anything, then you can really see it, and it's just not as flattering as you want it to be honest. So the Naked Skin is awesome. It's a buildable coverage, so if you put it on and you need a little bit more in certain places, you can get the coverage that you need without it looking super, super heavy. All right, now I'm going to be using the Arbonne palette. This is an older Christmas palette, but they did just come out with a brand new quad palette that I have yet to use, but I've seen it and it's beautiful. I love the fact that it's vegan, it's gluten-free, it has really great ingredients in it, the colors are really nice. Make sure you always put bronzer on your neck, and you want to contour your jawline just because it blends everything in really nicely. I don't want to do too much crazy contouring just because. So my bronzer I'm keeping just around my cheekbone, around my forehead, and then jawline and neck just to blend in. My blush, I'm gonna use my NYX palette, which is my go-to palette. And because we're doing a coral look today, we can keep it kind of monochromatic, which means that we're gonna use similar colors and tones. So I'm gonna use the kind of corally peachy tones with the same brush. And to be honest, if you didn't have a blush, you could even use the eyeshadows that you used. So for example, I used Still Shot, which is this guy here. If I just put my brush in it, just make sure you're not hitting any of those other colors because we don't want brown. You just kind of put your brush in it, and then we could put a little bit of that. Now, I kind of did a lot. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of bright, which is okay. We can tone it down. I'm gonna go back in. I'm not gonna add any product. I'm just gonna push whatever is remaining on my brush on my cheeks just because they were a little bit brighter than I wanted them to be. Whoa. Perfect. Okay. I'm gonna use my Becca. I have literally used this until the bitter, bitter end because it is such an awesome highlight. It's this really pretty gold tone. I do have to get more of it, but I'm just gonna use it around my temple here. I'm gonna blend it under my brow so that I kind of blend in my eyeshadow. And you can see how that kind of blended everything in. You can do a little bit on your nose if you wanted to, with your finger, just on your Cupid's bow. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna take Blazing from my Huda palette, and I'm gonna pull these tones, the orange tone, underneath my eye. And because I want it to be a little bit more like smoky, I'm not using, I'm just using my flat eyeshadow brush. I'm not using like an angled brush or anything like that because I want it to be a little bit more blended and kind of a fatter line underneath my eye. All right. I'm gonna go in with, I want to use an eyeliner that isn't black. Let me see what I have here. Oh, perfect. Okay, I'm going to use this eyeliner called Lucky from Urban Decay. It is kind of like a coppery orange color, and it will just kind of tie the entire look together. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that I tend to use a lot of the Urban Decay eyeshadow eye pencils because they are 24/7, which means that once they dry, they are waterproof. I'm doing underneath my eye on the top because it's just gonna add a little bit, like, it doesn't, like in the camera, it actually looks like I have a darker eyeliner on than I do, which is super cool. I'm gonna add a little bit of this to the top of my eye, just to kind of tie into my sparkle liner. The great thing about these liners too is if you wanna smudge them out, you have 2 minutes to smudge them out, so you can apply them, use your finger, kind of blend them in, use a brush to smudge them up. And then once it dries, it ain't going anywhere, which is fantastic. All right, then I'm going to here we go. I'm gonna do my brows really quickly. I've been absolutely loving the Double Down Brow Duo set. This is in Dark Drapes. Super, super easy to apply. I find even before I go drop the kids off at school, I can do my brows and feel like they're done well, but I'm doing them quickly. I can still do them with a pencil, but I just find that this is a really, really great application. They're also waterproof. If you don't follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is at whataprettyface_Reis, R-E-I-S. And I just went to Ireland to visit my sister for a week, and one of the days it was raining like crazy, and we were walking outside in the rain. We were trying to get back to our Airbnb. Crazy, crazy rain, and my makeup did not budge. It was awesome. And I was wearing this eyeshadow, this eyebrow powder, and it didn't move, which is what you want. The last thing you want is for your eyebrows to be moving around in the rain. There we go. Sweet. All right, I'm gonna curl my lashes with this amazing eyelash curler. It's from the Mac Pro store. I love that it's so tiny, so I can get in and really curl all of my tiny lashes without having to fit them into one of those big honking eyelash curlers. I find that they're really hard to use when your eyes are small. Oh, hi. Okay. It's a long story. My favorite mascara. Oh no. No. I used the wrong finger. It's okay. It's okay, baby. Oh my gosh. Okay. I need to fix that. Okay. Bottle in mouth. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what happened here was I used the finger that has eyeshadow on it to try to fix something, and I clearly made it worse. So just with my clean kabuki brush, I'm gonna go in and try to fix that up. And I'm gonna use a clean finger. There. There we go. All right. Now, if we want to get like super monochromatic, I like that word. We could use the eyeliner that I used for your lips. So let's do that and see what happens. Okay, it's a little darker than I would have initially used, but I've lined and I've blended in. And now let's see something. Okay, I did not bring any lipsticks down with me, so we're going to compromise. We're gonna put some eyeshadow on our lips. I'm gonna use Still Shot because it's a nice bright coral color. What's the matter? Let's see, did that work? Shh. Haha. Okay, it's not bad, it's not great. I have the Juicy Metallized lipstick from the Urban Decay Cherry collection. It's a nice neutral shimmery color. So I just put that right over top. And it's not horrible. Let's see. Where is my... Okay, this is my summer coral look. So you can see the shimmer and sparkle. You can amp it up if you wanted to. You could add even more shimmer and sparkle. You could do a fake lash with this and that would make it just pop that much more. You could do a super neutral lip. You could do a really nice bright coral lipstick, which would be so pretty with this look too. So I hope that this gives you some inspiration to do something kind of fresh and fun for the summertime. You know, this kind of look is great for summer dresses, if you're going to family barbecues, if you're looking to kind of incorporate color into your regime of makeup applications and you weren't sure how to do it, that this could kind of be used as a tool to do that. And like I said, you can kind of use this guide and incorporate other colors too. You could add a really nice deep purple to the outside to create a really nice smoky eye. So if, you know, I was going to a family barbecue during the day and then I was gonna go out in the evening, you could really smoke it out while keeping the same kind of tones in your skin. So I hope that this was helpful. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, please post down below and I will see you on my next video. Have a great day.